And that day would happen, we're on our way to Vienna, get over Zagreb, which was Czechoslovakia, now it's called Croatia. And we had trouble with the engines, but also Brownie, our tail gunner, said he was hit with flak. Stover, our radio operator, say flak, and you can understand all the talking went on. The intercom, do this, do that, we've got to bail out. I told John, we're 60 miles from the Adriatic Sea, which was corroborated by the other planes. The captains of those planes also concurred that we're 60 miles. So John elected to go for the ditching to see if we can make it to the sea. And anything that moved, that wasn't bolted down, was jettisoned out. Machine gun, ammunition, paraphernalia, and my harness. We started to lose the first engine, the second engine. By the time we made the Alps, the Yugoslavian Alps, we lost the third engine, so we're flying on one engine. Somehow we made it over the Yugoslavian Alps. I can almost touch the snow. We come over the city of Fiume, which is now called Rijeka, Croatia. They're shooting at us. The enemy aircraft are shooting at us. We're going down. One engine on fire, two engine out, one turning over, and they're shooting at us. And you can hear the flak going right through the plane. And we took our ditch positions. We hit, bounced, banged up, and then it settled down. 10 of us got out. The North Sea numbers from the 8th Air Force, 4,318 ditched. 1,538 survived. 10 of us got out into the rowboats. They take us to, the German Navy came out and they got us. They pulled the rubber boats. We were paddling to Kirk Island. I didn't know what it was then. I can tell you now. It was Kirk Island. And we get into the city of Fiume. And everybody comes out. Those people were angry. You bomb their city every day. They're not going to like you. And so that's what happened. Then they bring us into this courtyard. They line us up against this huge gray wall, pockmarked with shells and machine gun fire, with a German soldier facing us with a machine gun. And we have to stand there. It was an eternity. They finally moved us into the house. We all got together, we looked at each other, and everyone said the same thing. They're going to kill us. But they didn't. And the next day, we were sent to Trieste. And Trieste was where we were put into an SS prison. And then being Jewish really, really sunk in. See these dog tags? These are my dog tags. On the dog tags, there's an H for Hebrew, C for Catholic, and P for Protestant. And you got two of these. One goes with the body and one they send back. I think that's the way it works. I never threw them away. I never threw them away. And I don't know why. I think I was stupid. Because a lot of Jewish guys told me, the Jewish POWs, they threw them away. And so because I was Jewish, they put me in solitary confinement. It had to be a couple of days. I lost track of time, and the guys really didn't tell me much. They didn't want to talk about it. They saw when I came back, and they knew that I was being treated because I was Jewish. And that's where I made the decision. They put me in about a 3x9 closet. No windows, no nothing, it's pitch black. coal floor. And I felt around, is there a way to get out of this? And finally I sat down, laid down on the floor, and it was the worst time of my life. I was thinking about my family. They would never know what happened to me. Everything growing up, you think about. And finally, I had these things in my hand. I said, F them. Go to tell them. I don't care. I don't care. I don't know how long, but eventually they took me out, brought me to this captain, SS captain, who interrogated me. I sat there and listened, and he talked to me about European Jews being different than American Jews. And so I listened. Finally, he sent me back to the 5x5 cell that four of us shared. Talk to any POW. Black bread, ersatz coffee, cabbage soup, or onion soup, call it what you will. That's what they fed us. We got lice. We slept on the straw floor, and they didn't physically hurt us. And then they started to move us. We ended up in the Stalag 13D in Nuremberg. And the Germans had a procedure where they kept moving all the POWs, particularly the Air Force officers, further south as the Allies kept coming down. And you have to remember, I told you about the slippers. I threw my shoes out. Well, I ended up with huge blisters. I can barely walk. And I got to the POW camp. There was a so-called doctor who cut them open. And I had to sit with my feet up in the air for days. Ooh, that was not good. And then we get orders. They said, get on the road. And a couple of hours out, I collapsed. I couldn't walk anymore. Even though someone found a pair of GI boots, I was able to walk a little. And so, I know Yiddish. My grandmother spoke to me in Yiddish, in Yiddish, and I spoke to her in English. And that's how we convert. Don't ask me to speak Yiddish now. I know some words. In any event, one of the guys said to the German guard, there were 23 guards and 19 of us. You can shoot him, he can't move. Someone, nobody knows who, talked to the sergeant in charge, who wielded a lot of power. Look, the war is over. The Third Army is coming down. No place to go. We will say to the troops, Americans, that you took care of us, We'll tell them to take care of you. They agreed. We will go to this farmhouse up the road. I don't know how I got there, but I got there. And we're in this farmer and his wife. We're in there. And then they started to shell the area. The Germans started retreating. So we all go into the barn and hide under the hay. And you could see through the slats in the barn them coming there. A couple of Germans came in, poked around. Nobody was hurt. Then they left. I ran back into the farmhouse. John and Lauren stayed at the barn. And all that night is when we got shelled. And shelling was from like 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the morning. Then it stopped. We got a flag, a white flag, go out there, hey! That's how we got out. And we turned the Germans over, and we got out. It was something special. And we were the last official convoy to leave England. And we should come up the Hudson River. We see a Statue of Liberty on the left on our port coming up. Just like that. Not a word. Quiet. You can hear a pin drop. Because anyone who could get up, be carried up, anyone who in any way could get to the railing was on deck. And then we saw that, give me a moment. We saw the statues that we knew we were home.